So I'm now going to make the piece that I want to go in the center here. And this one, I used polymer clay. But this time, I just want to use a stamp of the man in the moon. And I'm going to stamp it on this cardstock. I'm going to then cut it out, glue it to this more heavy cardstock, and then make it more dimensional. So first I'm going to color this with some Rub 'n Buff in the same colors that the rest of my shrine is. I'm just leaving this to dry so that the embossing powder will not attach to it because I'm going to emboss this in black. And I'll just use my heat gun and emboss it. So here's the man in the moon. He's embossed and ready to cut. I'm just cutting around the outside of the embossing. Here we are. My chipboard, my man in the moon, my glue. I have to leave him until the glue is dry, because if I start to cut now, then it will just come off because it's not completely dry. So I've got a couple of steps going at the same time here. This is now ready for the Rub 'n Buff treatment. Like I said, this is going to be tiles that are going to be placed around here. This stuff, you need to always finish up the edges. And I love the dabber for that, because it doesn't give like the crisp sharp edge, it gives a rough edge, and I love it. So I want a crown on top here, so I'm going to make one. to get the look that I want to repeat this. So I'm going to cover this in this paper. And again, I'm leaving it to dry so that I can just cut around it. Now my moon should be dry. Okay, now I'm leaving it to dry. I'm then going to glossy accent it to give it even more of a dimension. So let's do that. I start on the bottom, and can you see? Yeah. You know that I have this without the tape, so you need to place your glue there, but not all the way up, because we're going to have a little bit of it peeking out. So they will be exactly the same in height, so to speak, because of we cut the strip, and you can see where the height is by looking at the aluminum foil. Now you can see how this looks. So I'm going to try and keep the rest of the tiles with this width apart, or this gap between, I should say, and like 50-50 on and off the edge here. So that's good enough for me. Now I think we can cut this. So here's the crown, and as you can see, the edges are just like I don't want them. So Okay, so it's picking up this, which I like. And this is going in here, but if I just put it there, then it would sort of disappear. I want it to come out like this. So I need some more cardstock just to build this. So let's see what I can find. Okay, you guys, now I have painted this whole thing black, and we'll just leave it to dry before we attach it. So I got this tiny cherub. So I've painted it and rubbed off some of the black paint, and then I'm going to rub and buff it. Now my moon is dry. So I'm just going to glue it and put it in. And it's going up here. But I think I want something behind it. I'm not sure, so I'm going to wait attaching it. Or maybe it just wants to set up here. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, I think you might end up there. But still, don't know. So wait. We're going to use the trick that Anna taught me. So I just need some of this to attach this one to the rest of the shrine. So I'm scoring a 1/4 inch at 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch and 1 inch. And we make it into a square thingy like this. So I just need some score tape. So what I'm going to do is support this with this, and I think I'll put it in front of it because that will give me the correct gap. And then I'll just do a strip of chipboard behind there to support it from the back, and then I think that will be okay. So first we glue this down, and then I'll use my glue gun. I want to paint this black now because now I've attached everything, and I'm going to put this one, and if I put this one it will be very difficult to paint this, so I'm painting it first. So here we go, it's done. It's acrylic paint, black. Leave it to dry, and I'll also do this on the back. So now that's done, and let's leave it to dry. I've also got this polymer clay heart that I've made just from stamping a heart into clay and just cutting around it. So I'm not so happy with the shape, so I'm just gonna cut it a bit. Okay, so I think it's better now. And also, I don't like the color. It doesn't match my project. It's going to steal too much attention away from the rest of it. So I'm going to color it. And what am I going to do? I'm going to paint it black. Like this. We'll leave it to dry and do the rub and buff. So I figure that's pretty cool. And to finish my heart off, I want this to be sort of behind it. And to achieve that, I just take some cardstock, and because I don't want it to be like too heavy, I think I'm at least going to try this first before I do the more heavier chipboard. now probably we can attach this here. So I want this heart to hang from here, and to achieve this I just need a piece of wire. So here I cut myself a piece of wire, and the only thing I want to do is to make a loop. We can use this, and now I'm just going to poke a hole, not a thick hole, a thin hole. I poked a hole, and I'm now pushing the wire through the hole. At least I'm trying to poke it through, like so. Okay, so now you see this is here, and I now bend these like so. Okay, and then I just put some tape here. For this I use duct tape. Like this, and then I cut off these edges, or so for this heart to be hanging nicely, I need this one to go like that. Okay, not flat like so, but like this. And then we're going to attach it to the bottom here in the middle. Okay, now I've attached this, and once the glue is dry it will be sufficient. And you can see it's not the loop is not so big that it will show when this is hanging on the wall. So, but of course we're going to paint this black. We're going to paint this black afterwards.